Hey, what up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you with the recent sort of change in direction from everybody going to having physical copies of WWE DVDs to now going over to the WWE Network where everything is digital and having everything, a click of a remote away from being able to watch. WWE DVDs don't really get the feel that they once did here on eBay. A lot of people went out and they sold their collections, and they more than likely were pretty smart. I think definitely if you would have went to the bank and you would have sold all of your pay-per-view DVDs, I think you would be looking pretty smart right now. But there are certain DVDs that you need to keep in your collection because I think the WWE Network doesn't really connect with people that really want to watch series of matches in a row. In this DVD review, I'm going to be reviewing the Hell in a Cell 3-disc set, the greatest Hell in a Cell matches of all time, which I think was honestly just a collection of all of the Hell in a Cell matches that had been released up to this point to being released in 2008. I couldn't remember any any Hell in a Cell matches that got left off of the set. Nothing really here except for just match after match after match of action. This definitely was fun stuff. And I mean, if you have the WWE Network, you definitely could go through all of the pay-per-views through the period of time and watch those matches. But you're gonna have to click on the pay-per-view, fast forward to the main event, and then basically watch that match, and then basically go to another pay-per-view and do it. So I mean, this DVD honestly sells on Amazon used for less than $5. If I still had a DVD collection, and I was interested in buying DVDs besides the ones that I already all own, this is one that I would go out of my way to have because it's just good to have as an easy grab to throw in the DVD player and watch the Hell in a Cell matches as you're building up to this year's Hell in a Cell, or just any time that you want to relive awesome wrestling moments from history's past. Really cool. That was the slipcover that I showed you. Here's the actual DVD cover, DVD case, I guess you can say. You open this up, as WWE DVDs have with the 3-disc sets. You get the pictures on the inside. There's Batista during Batista versus Triple H. There's Triple H pinning Vince McMahon. Slip that open to where the slipcover should be. You got Undertaker there reaching for his life. Flip over one more, and you got the 1, 2, 3. Slipcover's got some pretty cool pictures down there. You got Rock and Rikishi looking up at the top of the Hell in the Cell, like, oh, what the hell are we doing? We're going to go up there. You got, I apologize, Kane and Mankind, they're fighting it out inside of the ring, opening up to find the inside. The match listings right here for you. They started out with the debut of the Hell in the Cell. As I put over all of the matches, basically the Elimination Chamber. The first match back in 1997 honestly was very, very, really special. Undertaker and Shawn Michaels kept on having these, matches that kept on getting broken up. You can remember, with the Bret Hart Wrestling in Shadows documentary, Bret Hart complaining about Shawn Michaels stealing his heat as he was a special guest referee. He went to hit Bret Hart, but hit Undertaker, which cost Undertaker the championship, which got Undertaker pissed off at Shawn, which, set off in Bret Hart being the champion, but him not really being the main event anymore. At Bad Blood 97, basically they built this cell to keep out, DX from interfering in the match, and it was really cool. I mean, you definitely see Triple H come down to the ring with Chyna to escort Shawn Michaels in, and he wants to help Shawn, but they escort him out of the cell. They lock the door, which is supposed to keep everybody out, and basically Shawn and Undertaker use the inside of that cage as everything. Shawn is trying to run away from the Undertaker. He's trying to fight with him, but he's also trying to climb the cage to find a place to sort of escape, and there's nowhere really to run, or there's nowhere really to hide. This match ends Basically, when Undertaker is about to finish off Shawn Michaels, Kane, who had been threatening Undertaker, is debuting because Paul Bearer kept on, wanting Undertaker to turn with him, and basically Undertaker wouldn't do it. So basically, Undertaker's brother came out to start a feud with him, and that would sort of shift Shawn Michaels off in another direction, which would get him towards WrestleMania with Triple H that year, building us up to the first Undertaker versus Kane match, where Undertaker wouldn't fight his brother, then got tired of getting his ass kicked, and then finally WrestleMania we get to see the two brothers go at it. But awesome debut match. Kane coming out there looks like a monster that will never be beaten. As strong as we all know that Undertaker is, Kane just looks bigger and badder, and you're like, damn, our hero's about to get his ass whooped. From there we go to like a secret, I guess you can say, Hell in the Cell, as they were hyping up the 1998 main event for King of the Ring, which was going to be, Mankind versus Kane in the Hell in the Cell match, which everybody knows about. You also saw Kane going up against Stone Cold Steve Austin. This, of course, was when Kane got the first run as champion, which lasted 24 hours, where he won the title on the pay-per-view. He would have set himself on fire if he didn't beat Stone Cold, so they probably didn't want to go through that. But Stone Cold loses, wins in the main event the next night. Basically, they had a clusterfuck of basically everybody wanted to beat up Austin on the show. Vince McMahon released the Hell in the Cell, which closed down on the ring, and then once it was coming down, everybody was able to get out of there because Stone Cold was whooping up a lot of ass. But it was Paul Bearer that was left inside of the cell as Undertaker came up through the bottom of the ring like he does, and he started whooping up on Paul Bearer, while Stone Cold Steve Austin was up on top of the cell. I think he was fighting Mankind up there. He might have been fighting Kane, I can't remember. But I honestly always have that moment of Stone Cold Steve Austin, that strut he has, as when he is just, coming down to the ring. I can't really it's a badass motherfucker theme, you know what I mean? Like, the way he walks to his theme is you can tell that he just has the perfect theme to go along with that character. And it was a very awesome Raw moment as it fades to black with them, all fighting in there. Then from there we go to Undertaker versus Mankind in the Hell in a Cell. Everybody knows about that match. They've seen it 1,000 times. Mankind, getting thrown off the top of there, then getting off the stretcher, coming back in, fighting with Taker again, and then being, choke slammed through the cell down into the ring. From there we go to Mankind versus Kane, another Monday Night Raw match where they turned on each other. Nothing really spectacular about this. It's a Raw event with the Hell in the Cell in there, which is what it is, but nothing really great. From there we go to what is personally my favorite Hell in the Cell match, which was from No Way Out 2000, Cactus Jack going up against Triple H. Triple H, was the champion at the time, and he had an awesome match with Mick Foley at that would be the Royal Rumble 2000. And basically, Cactus Jack, Mick Foley came out and said that if he didn't beat Triple H, he would put his career on the line in a Hell in the Cell match. And these are the series of matches that really made Triple H's career. Honestly, Cactus Jack I apologize. Honestly, Mick Foley has came out and said, there was many times he should have ended his career, but he came back and milked it for a little bit more. And this was the first time he should have walked away and never came back. But of course, the phone call came, and he worked WrestleMania that year in the main event, which was the next pay-per-view after No Way Out. And he really made his career that night. He had a real awesome promo on SmackDown to send you home, and then they're basically he dies right there in the center of the ring. They're fighting up there on the top. It's Triple H and Mick Foley. They're fighting over a barbed wire baseball bat. That's lit on fire, and they're swinging around at each other up there. And Triple H knocks, Cactus Jack, and he falls through the top of the cell once again. But this time when he hits the mat just poof into dust, and it collapses, and he's just stuck right down in there. And that was the end of what should have been Mick Foley and Cactus Jack's career. Hell of a way to go out in basically a match that was set up that you made famous. Definitely Undertaker and Shawn set the bar, but definitely Mick Foley was able to make the match his own. From there we go to an awesome Armageddon 2000 six-man match. Angle, Rikishi, The Rock, Undertaker, Triple H, and Stone Cold Steve Austin. The only thing that would have made this better is Bulldog and Jeans. Basically 2000 was an awesome time period. They had a lot of main eventers. You can argue whether if Rikishi should or shouldn't be there. But a lot of big names in here. Rikishi ends up taking the bump of the night, being knocked off the top of the Hell in the Cell into a huge, the Briscoe brothers, but anyways, Gerald Briscoe and Pat Patterson backed up a huge rig, the biggest truck they can find, to try and basically tear down the Hell in the Cell, so it wouldn't be there. Ends up that they weren't able to do that, so there's just this huge truck sitting in the aisleway, and it's filled with hay. And I think everybody knew what was going to happen, but nobody knew that Rikishi was the guy that was going to take it. And Rikishi just is fighting on the top of the cage. He gets, basically just knocked off, and he just falls back, much like the Shane O'Mac, falling off the Titantron, where he just sort of let go and he crossed his arms, and you could tell that he's doing it as safe as possible. But it's still a sight to see as it happens. From there we go to the Judgment Day 2002. Honestly, in my mind, one of the most worthless Hell in the Cell matches from Judgment Day 2002. Triple H and Chris Jericho. A feud that these guys hated each other, but no way in the world this needed to be a Hell in the Cell match. Nothing really much to see here. Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar in October of 2002 at the No Mercy show. Honestly, this reset the bar for Hell in the Cells. Undertaker, sort of made this match his own. Him and Brock beat the holy hell out of each other, and it's one of my most favorite matches to watch. Me, Zach, and Luke watched this before the Royal Rumble this year. We watched a series of Brock Lesnar versus Undertaker matches because we had heard the rumor that was what it was going to be, so we just basically needed some time to kill before the Rumble started. So that was what we chose to watch. From there we go to another match which sort of lowered the bar again. Kevin Nash versus Triple H. A bad match at Bad Blood 2003. Mick Foley was in there trying to give the match a little bit of credibility as the special guest referee, but he doesn't do much. Shawn Michaels and Triple H at Bad Blood 2004. Everybody knows about how much these guys hated each other. Basically, Shawn Michaels, came back to the WWE, and he tried to reach out to Triple H to restart D-Generation X, and from there, the long-time rivalry before DX finally got back together in 2006, and they picked it back up in 2004, and this match definitely delivers much like that SummerSlam 2002 match. From there we go to Vengeance 2005, Batista versus Triple H. This is the 3 matches in a row where Triple H puts over Batista on pay-per-view in the main event. This one, it can be debated if it should have been the main event of WrestleMania 21, but definitely by the time they got to the Hell in the Cell match, Vengeance, you could tell that Batista was ready to be a main eventer for the WWE, and Triple H had found the right man to pass the torch to. 2005, Undertaker versus Randy Orton. This would be ending their feud that started with basically the WrestleMania match. It lasted a real long time. One of the most memorable moments, it would be Randy's dad on the outside just getting split open, which then caused a burning ring of fire because he never told anybody that he had hepatitis until after the spot. From there we go to Unforgiven 2006, a match that no one needs to see once again. DX going up against Shane McMahon, Vince McMahon, and The Big Show, with Vince McMahon getting his head shoved up Big Show's ass. And then we go to Survivor Series 2007. Undertaker versus Batista, Hell in the Cell for the World Heavyweight Championship match. What a way to definitely end off this match. And from there, I think in 2010, Hell in the Cell became its own pay-per-view. And for there, honestly, in my mind, the Hell in the Cell match has sort of been tarnished a little bit because it's not really sporadic anymore when it comes around. It's just everybody can see it coming. October is going to be a Hell in the Cell match. So around SummerSlam, you start looking for a feud that looks big, and they're more than likely guys going to win the one match. Then at the pay-per-view, the other guys going to win the match, and then Hell in the Cell, they'll finish off their career. But maybe someday we'll get a Hell in the Cell 3-disc set, of part 2, and we can finish out having them all. But as of until now, this is the easiest way to watch your Hell in the Cell sets. So definitely, this is the pickup of the week. Go over to Amazon. I guarantee you can buy this for $5 used. Get it delivered to your house for just a couple of bucks, and you'll have an easy access to the Hell in the Cell pay-per-views from the beginning of WWE. Peace out.